Have you ever heard of Flight 571 that vanished in thin air, only to reappear in the most unimaginable circumstance? This is the enigma we are about to unravel. On a seemingly ordinary day, the 13th of October 1972, a plane took off, embarking on a journey that would etch its name in the annals of aviation history. The destination was Santiago, Chile, a routine flight path for the aircraft and its unsuspecting passengers. What was supposed to be a routine journey, however, took an unexpected and dramatic turn. Flight 571 disappeared, swallowed up by the vast expanse of the sky. This was no ordinary missing plane story. This was a mystery that unfolded in ways no one could have predicted, a tale of human endurance and survival against all odds. This was the beginning of a survival story that would stun the world. On board were 45 passengers, a mix of rugby team members, family, and friends, unaware of the ordeal that awaited them. As the sun rose on that fateful day, the passengers of Flight 571 found themselves in the midst of an adventure they never signed up for. A sense of excitement and anticipation filled the air as the plane took off, destined for Chile. Among the passengers were members of a young and vibrant rugby team, their family and friends, all eagerly looking forward to their upcoming match. The first few hours of the flight were uneventful, a calm before the storm. The plane hummed along, making its way over the picturesque Andes, their snow-capped peaks glistening in the morning sun. The weather seemed favorable, the skies clear. It was a seemingly perfect day for a flight. However, as they moved further into the mountains, the weather began to show its fickle nature. The once clear skies were now filled with ominous clouds that cast a foreboding shadow over the landscape. The decision to fly over the Andes, which seemed like a good idea at the time, was starting to look like a grave miscalculation. Suddenly, the plane hit turbulence. The aircraft jolted violently, shaking everyone out of their complacency. The once cheerful chatters and laughter were replaced with gasps and prayers. The flight, which started as an exciting journey, was quickly turning into a terrifying ordeal. The turbulence worsened, the plane tossed around like a toy in the hands of a petulant child. The pilots struggled to maintain control, their faces etched with concentration and concern. The passengers held on to whatever they could, their knuckles white from the effort. The fear was palpable, the tension tangible. As the turbulence showed no signs of abating, the realization dawned upon everyone on board. They were in the midst of a life-threatening situation. The excitement of the journey had turned into a nightmare. And then, the unimaginable happened, the plane crashed. In the blink of an eye, the plane was down, crashed into the unforgiving landscape of the Andes. The once soaring Flight 571 was now a mangled mass of metal, buried deep in the snow. The enormity of the situation was instant, the shock palpable. The survivors, dazed and injured, scrambled from the wreckage, their lives irrevocably altered in a heartbeat. The initial reaction was one of disbelief, their minds struggling to comprehend the reality before them. Panic and fear coursed through them, a chilling undercurrent to the biting cold. The harsh conditions they now faced were beyond anything they could have imagined. The air was thin and biting, the landscape a barren expanse of snow and ice. Shelter was rudimentary at best, cobbled together from the remnants of the shattered plane. Food and water were scarce, their survival hinged on rationing what little they had. Yet amidst the desolation, there was a glimmer of hope. They believed that they would be found, that their ordeal would be short-lived. After all, it was a scheduled flight, its route known. Surely rescue teams were already on their way. Each new dawn was greeted with anticipation, every sound a potential savior. But as the days rolled on, the expected rescue never materialized. The sun would rise and set, painting the sky with hues of hope and despair, yet no one came. The realization that they had been forgotten was a bitter pill to swallow. They were alone, stranded in a hostile landscape with only their will to survive. Every passing day was a battle against the elements, against the gnawing hunger, against the creeping despair. They clung on to each other, their shared ordeal forging bonds stronger than steel. They found strength in unity, comfort in shared misery, and hope in the face of adversity. As days turned into weeks, hope slowly began to fade. The promise of rescue, once a beacon of hope, now seemed like a distant dream. The harsh reality was setting in. They were on their own in the unforgiving Andes. The fight for survival had truly begun. Stranded at over 12,000 feet altitude, the survivors faced a brutal fight for survival. The grueling conditions of the Andes Mountains presented an insurmountable challenge to the survivors of Flight 571. High altitudes, freezing temperatures, and limited resources painted a bleak picture. The survivors found themselves in a desperate situation. Food supplies were dwindling, and the harsh reality was that they were trapped in an inhospitable environment far from civilization. Their survival instincts kicked in, and they began to strategize. They rationed their limited food, used snow for drinking water, and fashioned crude shelter from the wreckage. However, as days turned into weeks, it became clear that their meager supplies wouldn't last. The realization dawned on them that they had to consider extreme measures to stay alive. A decision that no human being should ever have to face was thrust upon them, a choice that would challenge the very essence of their humanity. In the face of death, they had to resort to cannibalism. The bodies of their deceased friends, preserved in the freezing cold, became their only source of sustenance. This decision wasn't taken lightly. It was a matter of life and death, a desperate act of survival in the harshest of circumstances. Each survivor had to grapple with their own moral and ethical boundaries, but the will to live proved stronger. Despite the grim circumstances, the survivors displayed an incredible spirit of unity and resilience. They supported each other, both physically and emotionally, through these unimaginable trials. Their story is not just one of survival but also of the strength of the human spirit when faced with the most extreme circumstances. The survivors of Flight 571 didn't just fight for their lives, they fought to preserve their humanity in the face of unimaginable adversity. They made a decision that would forever mark their lives, a decision that would become a testament to the lengths humans will go to survive. In the face of death, they made a decision that would forever mark their lives. After 72 days of unimaginable hardship, the world had almost forgotten Flight 571. The story might have ended there, buried under the snow and lost in the annals of history. But the indomitable spirit of human survival was far from extinguished. Two of the survivors, exhausted and on the brink of despair, decided to embark on what seemed like an impossible mission. With meager supplies and a makeshift map, they set off, determined to cross the treacherous Andes Mountains. Their goal was simple: find help or die trying. Imagine the daunting task ahead of them. The journey was fraught with danger. Every step was a battle against the elements and their own physical limitations. The icy winds cut through their makeshift clothing, the biting cold threatened to freeze their very bones. Hunger gnawed at them relentlessly, and the thin mountain air made every breath a struggle. But they pressed on, driven by the hope of rescue and the grim determination to survive. After 10 grueling days of trekking through snow-covered peaks and treacherous terrain, they happened upon the most unlikely of saviors. A Chilean shepherd who lived in these inhospitable mountains came across the two beleaguered survivors. Through a series of gestures and broken Spanish, the survivors conveyed their dire situation to the shepherd. With his help, they managed to get a message to the authorities. The news spread like wildfire, and soon, the world watched in disbelief as an incredible story of survival unfolded. The rescue teams battled the same hostile conditions the survivors had endured, but they were better equipped and driven by the knowledge that lives were at stake. When they finally reached the crash site, they found 16 survivors, emaciated and frostbitten, but alive. Their rescue marked the end of a 72-day ordeal that had tested the limits of human endurance. The impossible had happened. The survivors of Flight 571 were rescued. This tale of incredible resilience and survival against all odds is not just a testament to the human spirit, but also a reminder of our innate will to survive, no matter what challenges we face. The story of Flight 571 is a testament to the indomitable human spirit. As we've journeyed through this harrowing tale, we've witnessed an extreme demonstration of human resilience. This saga, born of tragedy, has left a profound legacy that continues to inspire. The ordeal of the crash survivors has been immortalized in numerous books, movies, and documentaries, each capturing the essence of their struggle and survival. It has become a beacon of hope and a symbol of the strength that lies within us all. Humanity's capacity to endure, to adapt, and to cling relentlessly to life in the face of unimaginable adversity is a lesson that resonates deeply. Flight 571 is more than just a chapter in aviation history. It is a narrative of human triumph amidst disaster, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. Flight 571 wasn't just a plane crash, it was a journey of human endurance that challenged the limits of survival. The tale of Flight 571 is one of resilience, courage, and survival against all odds. It prompts us to reflect, to consider the strength of the human spirit when faced with unimaginable adversity. This story, like many others, is a testament to our capacity to endure, to hope, and to triumph. Thank you for joining us on this journey through history. If you enjoyed this video, remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more such intriguing historical tales.